Let's do it. In effect.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Man, we back here with another episode of Chill and Chill with a special guest, man. You know, Mr. Nasty himself over from the Gridiron Press Box, me, Bama. I'm here with the big dog, Unc, man. Chill Town. How you doing, man?
Don't let this football dude fool you. He know basketball too. Just so y'all know. I know y'all see him on the gridiron and you hear him talking football all the time, but he know basketball too. You know what he's talking about.
I'm just as nasty with my basketball takes.
Yeah, don't let that fool you. He know what he's talking about when it comes to the hoops too. So we know what it is. We definitely know what it is.
Before we get into a lot of exciting stuff in the NBA world, especially with the in-season tournament, man, let me get a few shouts out the way. GOAT member, Cobra Son of Raditz, Comatose in the Clutch, and Legend member Skamet. If you want to become a member, click join down in the link to become a member. Different tiers. We love to have you, man. Also, you got the QR code right here. Grab your Player's Choice merch, man. There's some quality stuff. I don't know if y'all can see it. Embroidered material, man. That's that good stuff. Not none of that screen printed stuff they be charging you out $40, $50 for. It's that real good material, man. But all right, back to the regular scheduled programming, because like I said, man, this might be the best thing implemented in sports, honestly, man. I don't know if you've been sleeping under a rock, but the in-season tournament been going on for $500,000, and them boys been bringing out their A game, man.
Yes, they have, Bama. That's the incentive right there. And these dudes play a lot harder. The games are more competitive. I immediately thought when I saw this, I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, Bama, how are we going to go back to the regular season after this? Because are we going to get games as competitive as this in January? Are we going to get games as competitive this in the rest of December? Because, okay, sure, these dudes are still getting paid, but is this the kind of incentive right here? And a lot of this stuff also is playoff implications. So if you figure Indiana and Milwaukee, they in the same division. So with them being in the same division, a spot to go to the play-in tournament championship game, it might not mean much for other people, but okay, they beat us to get to the championship. We might see these dudes later on in the playoffs. We might see these guys in the regular season for a spot in the playoffs. So this kind of creates more of a rivalry, and it brings rivalries back. Other teams, like you may see the Celtics and the Knicks get it on again, right? You may see the better teams in the league. This could bring back rivalries that weren't there before, where these dudes now competing more than what they did in the past. Don't get me wrong, the bread matters. But with that being said, the competition level is a lot better. And I think it's great for the game, man. I think it's fantastic for the game.
I agree. Just like what you said, man. I think right now, basketball, it was becoming like we all friends. So now I love that interconference rivalry, like you said, the Celtics, Knicks, just that Pacers, Bucks is bringing back that because it used to just be, cross, you had the Lakers and the Celtics. They get played out of for so long. We need to bring that stuff back, that competition. That's what we fans pay to see. That's what we pay all this money to see. So I like it, man.
I just wasn't a big fan of it early because I thought that it was a gimmick. I thought that it was a money grab. And it was something that we were going to have to talk about later, where I really didn't think it held a lot of validity. I didn't think the competition level would be like this, though, bro. I didn't think the competition level would be like this, though, Bama. I knew about the incentive and I knew about the money, but a lot of these dudes in the NBA, they get a lot of money. Now, don't get me wrong, 500 stacks is 500 stacks, but a lot of these dudes is getting a lot of money. So when you got a guy in the league that's in year 2 and we just think that all of these guys are going to be around for a long time, when in reality, the average pro career is only 4 or 5 years. So if I could play on a team with LeBron James, or I could play on a team with Giannis Antetokounmpo and make $500,000 in addition to what I'm already making as a bonus, I mean, sure, I'm going to play harder. I'm going to go a little bit harder. I'm going to listen more. I'm going to defend a little bit more. And the reason why is because of this right here. And it's good for the game. And not only is it good for the game, Bama, it's also good for me. And I don't just mean financially. I mean, this helps me moving forward. Play harder, I'm auditioning for other teams when they see me. So guys like Alex Caruso, guys like the kid Andre Jackson for Milwaukee, or Beauchamp for Milwaukee. These guys are auditioning for other teams, right? And they auditioning for other teams, playing as hard as they do. And this extra $500,000, it helps them. It absolutely helps them, and it helps teams see more of who they are. I think that this is good on a bunch of different fronts. I do.
I do too. For all the reasons you name, and like I said, I don't know. You finna talk about some of these games. There's one dude I've been seeing, and he been cooking. And I thought, you know, I gotta say it, SGA, or this whole play-in tournament, that young brother got my eye, man. I thought it was a fluke. I thought it was a gimmick because I'm a Curry guy. I like the way Curry play, but man, he been destroying Curry. Like this is wild, man. So I want to hear what you got to say about these games, because it's been some people that's emerged that I never would have thought. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a casual, but maybe a lot of people saw this coming from SGA. But I ain't see this level of play. This dude really looked like a top 5 player in the league right now. You know what I mean?
Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they out of the in-season tournament, but we still see them, right? And we saw them during the play-in tournament. And SGA is one of those guys. SGA is one of those guys, one of those young stars that people knew about, but they weren't really paying much attention to, not just because he was in Oklahoma City, but because Oklahoma City wasn't really doing much. I mean, they made the playoffs a couple of years ago with Chris Paul. So the casual fan didn't really know much about SGA. I'm not on the fence. I knew for a fact that Doc Rivers did not want to give SGA up in that trade to Oklahoma City. The reason why he gave him up was because of Kawhi Leonard. That's why. You can't, at that time in 2019, 2020, you can't say no to Kawhi Leonard. And we don't know what SGA, who had just finished year one. He had just finished year one. So there's no way that can hold the trade up, because we don't know who SGA is going to be at that time. But as time goes on, you can see his game improving. You can see him getting better. And you can see what they're doing in Oklahoma City, getting all of those draft picks. In addition to getting all of those draft picks, his game getting better and them building that unit around him. He reminds me of a more polished version of Steve Smith. That's who I see when I watch him. His game is he's crafty. He's not super duper athletic, but he knows how to turn it on and when to turn it on. He knows how to get to whatever spot he needs to get to. He's not one of those above the rim guys that's going to throw the ball over the top of you and playing above the rim like LeBron James or any other wing. But I tell you what he does though. He knows where to get to. He knows how to get the spots. He doesn't really take a lot of bad shots. He's really good in his decision making. I dig SGA's game. I dig everything about him. I think he's the future of the league, 100%. Now I didn't like that, you know, he got pushed to the forefront as a first team All NBA performer last year without them making the playoffs, because, you know, winning matters. But I feel like it was an anomaly. But that doesn't take away from how awesome he actually is as a player, because he is. And he's definitely going to be on the All-NBA team for years to come. 100% he is. I dig anything about his game.
We got our first super chat. Sports PSP said, chill, are you disappointed in Zion right now?
I am not disappointed in Zion right now. And the reason why I'm not disappointed in Zion, because he's actually on the floor. That's what I can appreciate the most. His game is going to come. The problem that we had with Zion in the years past is that Zion wasn't available. He'll give you 20 games, and then that's it. And then he's done for the season. He'll give you 35 games, and then he's done for the season. So, no, I'm not disappointed in him, because I feel like his game, he could get better. He could be a better rebounder. 100% he could be a better rebounder. He could actually get his mid-range better. The problem that we had with him is that he hasn't been on the floor. And I think that once he could get on the floor and stay on the floor, we could get them other things figured out, Bama. We could absolutely get them other things figured out with his game. The problem that I'm having with him, though, is his conditioning. He needs to get himself in better shape, man. That's not what we seen from him. That's not good enough, yo. He definitely needs to get himself in better shape.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, especially with Zion. You don't think, because You a healthy dude. I don't know if y'all seen Chill. You go watch a lot of PC weekend videos. Y'all see Chill, but he looks like a health advocate. You don't think that, I feel like, he down there in New Orleans, probably eating a lot of gumbo, po' boys. I feel like that weight probably would help to him staying on the floor, him getting that weight down. I feel like it can't be that healthy, especially with how he played. He's so explosive, so powerful. Right. I know I get he can play with it. I understand he's good with it. He's been doing what he could do. But I feel like force with Zion, him losing probably about 25, 30 pounds wouldn't hurt him. If anything, it would probably make him a better player. I could be wrong, though.
No, I don't think you're wrong about that. But I think we got to be realistic about who he is. Is Zion ever going to be like 240, 250? I don't think he's ever going to be that. So what's an ideal weight for him? An ideal weight is 250, right? That's an ideal weight. But it's a difference, Bama, between ideal and realistic. Ideally, I want this chick. Okay, realistically, which chick am I actually going to get? All right, so with this dude, what's ideal for him? 250. What's realistic? 260? Is that can we get him down to 260, 265 and have him play at 265? I think that's realistic where he can drop, because I saw Charles Barkley do it. He told us himself. Moses Malone told him. He was trying to figure out why he wasn't playing. Like, why am I not playing? Well, Moses Malone, being the straight up dude that he was, told him, you fat and you out of shape. That's the problem. You fat and you out of shape. So because you fat and you out of shape, do me a favor. Go lose 10 pounds. So he goes and he loses 10 pounds. Well, he loses 10 pounds. He goes to Moses. Moses tells him, yo, go lose another 10 pounds. Instead of telling him to lose 40, no, we're going to do this in increments. Go lose another 10 pounds. He loses another 10 pounds. He starts playing better, right? Starts playing better, getting himself in better shape. He goes to Moses. Moses tells him, you look great. Go lose another 10 pounds. Next thing you know, Barkley is down 35, 40 pounds. He's at 255, 250, and he's becoming an all-star. He said it himself that he wouldn't be the player that he was without Moses Malone. And I think that's the biggest problem that we have with these guys in the game today, Bama. Number one, they don't have any vets. They don't have guys that can show them how to be pros because they kids, right? And it's kids basically teaching kids. He doesn't have an 8-9 year. He doesn't have a guy like that. Like Valanciunas is from Europe, and Valanciunas is a little bit different. He's not the Moses Malone type. No, he's not that type of dude. That's gonna show him how to do it. We need guys like that because a guy like Zion Williamson, I feel like, barring any health issues, the way we talk about Luka, the way we talk about Joker, Giannis, we'll be talking about him like that too. Because I feel like he could have that kind of impact in that type of game.
What you think about that game between them and the Lakers right now? I really want to know what you want to say because my number one thing, I'm a Lakers fan. Yeah. I feel like LeBron James almost approaching 40 years old. What they asking upon that dude, I'd be hard on LeBron a lot. I'm hard on LeBron. I'm probably a LeBron hater. I'm one of them type of people. If they don't have the shoes in my size, I blame it on LeBron. But I'm not a fool on with what I see with my own too. I'm not an idiot. I ain't gonna deny greatness. How LeBron is playing right now, especially wielding these Lakers, man, like it's I've never seen. You could say Jordan, nowhere close to what LeBron is doing in year 21, 22. This is OD insane. Yeah. But for me, I feel like it's unfair because we've saw all our favorite players in the year 20, year 15, year 38 years old, 40 years old, and they were just out there pretty much, farewell tour. So for me right now, what I'm seeing from LeBron James, I feel like it's unfair to demand this all the way to an actual, NBA championship. And I feel like it might not be sustainable. I don't want to come off as a hater, but it's like this dude almost 40 years old. Like, how do you expect this dude to keep up this level of play for 82 games? You know what I'm saying? I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, number one, they didn't actually demand for him to do that. That's why they extended Anthony Davis, because he was supposed to be the guy. Right, James was supposed to take the silky segue route and be the guy who played off of Anthony Davis. Only except he's been so good, and they have been mediocre in terms of the way that they've been playing. As good as Anthony Davis is, and as good as Anthony Davis can play, it hasn't been consistent. It hasn't been something where we can rely on a consistent 25 and 12 every night. we can rely on that. We'll get 28 and 14. We'll get 35 and 13, but then we'll get 15 and 11. That's why the averages work out with him, where he ends up at 23 and where he ends up with 23 and 12. If we could get a legit 20, if we could get a legit like last season, if he barring any health issues, if we could get a legit 26 and 12, James would take that backseat because I think he wants to. I don't think James wants to be this guy like this. I think he would welcome if Anthony Davis was the force like what Shaq was. And again, we're talking about Los Angeles. That's why we basically comparing him to Shaq, because that's what was there. Shaq, Jabbar, Chamberlain. These are the guys who came before you. So this is what's expected of him, right? So the fact that James is playing at the way that James is playing, and I don't expect him to keep doing this, to be honest with you. I'm not even demanding that he keep doing this. I'm one of these people who in 2021, after they won the NBA championship in 20, I felt like I thought that James had another year, maybe two tops, where we're talking about him as a top 5 player, simply off the strength that he was getting older. And his game is predicated on flight and athleticism. And I'm thinking to myself, he can't keep playing at this level, taking that pounding, getting bruised up like that, because he's getting older. And he started to break down. He was getting hurt a little bit more often. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, now that they got Anthony Davis, maybe we can get this guy who can be more aggressive, be more of that force that they need so James can play off of him. Only except it's been up and down. Now, what James is doing, Bama, I can't really explain it because I've never seen it. I mean, we're talking about a 38 going on 39-year-old. I mean, I was around when Jabbar was 39. He wasn't very good. He wasn't this good. He still was good. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't this good, right? I was around when Jordan was 39. He was good, Bama. He wasn't this good. No, he was not this good. You know, a lot of and the older superstars, they didn't even play this long. Bird retired at 35. Magic was forced out of the game at 31, 32 years old, right? So for him to still be playing at this level, and not just playing at this level against much younger guys, it's a testament to who he is. Now, of course, Bama, you're gonna hear a lot of people say stuff like, you know, he's on the juice and he's got to be doing something else. And that's natural to say that. And the reason why it's natural to say that is because we ain't never seen nobody this good at this age before, still being this. But it's a testament to him, and it's a testament to who he is as a pro, taking care of his body, right? Showing up, not cheating the game. Like a lot of these other guys I feel like have cheated the game, not taking care of their bodies, getting out of shape, not working on their games. And James has actually done the complete opposite of that. And because he's done that, that's why he's still around. And I don't know how much longer Bama I don't know how much longer he's gonna be around, but he's still around, man, and it's awesome.
I think he's trying to stay around for Bronny. But what you said is awesome. Like I said, we've never seen it. I've never seen it. You lying if you think that these other athletes. I'm a Kobe fan, man. That 60-point game, I ain't gonna lie, that 60-point game, that exit game, y'all can't lie. Kobe shot like 1,000 shots. You know what I'm saying? So to say that he was still as dominant as LeBron is right now, that would be lying, man. I know Kobe wouldn't be able to carry a team how LeBron is doing right now. I don't want to be a LeBron Glazer, but like I said, man, I have to bow down to greatness. I ain't no hater like that, man. What he is doing right now at 38 years old, about to be 39 soon, coming up here, because I think he got a birthday coming up.
At the end of the month.
That is insane. We got some.
Here's the thing, though. Bam. I know we gotta get the super chats, but there's a difference between glazing and respecting, right?
Right.
And you got a lot of people. Excuse me. You got a lot of people who they say they unnecessarily big up guys. They unnecessarily talk about guys when it's not really necessary. But it's one thing. It's one thing to do that, and it's something completely different to actually respect somebody for doing something awesome. Like, I can't fight this, and if I fight this, I look crazy. I look ridiculous. As much as and as good as I think this guy is, as good as I think Jabbar is, as good as I think Chamberlain or Jordan, as good as I think these guys are, if I'm being realistic and being honest with myself, I have to recognize that, number one, I don't think I'm gonna see this again in my life. I don't think so. And Bama, you seen me. I do my best to take care of myself. I don't think I'm gonna be around to see the next dude do what James is doing. I don't think I'm going to be around to see it. Because this right here, at 38, 39 years old, I mean, I don't know if this is something that's realistic. And what also happens too, Bama, which is the biggest problem, like people think this is the norm now. Like, no, it's not. This is not something that you're going to see on a regular. No, what this dude is doing is not something that you're going to see regularly. Like I hear people telling me, KD could do what he's doing for the next 3 or 4 years. He's going to get older. That's going to happen. Steph Curry is going to get older. So these guys get older. James is a little bit different in the aspect how he takes care of his body, how he trains, how he eats. And don't get me wrong, these guys do the same thing, but he's just put together different. And I just think that for me, I don't think I'm going to see it again in my lifetime. I don't.
Yeah, I honestly agree with you. I don't think I'll see it again. I tell the guys on Gridiron all the time, with these quarterbacks, they be like, oh, well, this quarterback just tore his Achilles. He'll be back. He'll be able to play this. I was like, everybody not going to be able to pull a Brady to where they play 45 and play great football. Everybody's not going. Don't put that off on all of these dudes thinking they're going to be able to play well into their 40s and be serviceable, because it's not. Like, they just go fall flat off and they go be garbage. You go like, where their powers went. Like, you just got to appreciate the greatness while it's there. That's why I say salute to LeBron, man. Salute to him.
Bama, you was around. You saw Brett Favre at 40. What do he look like?
Yeah, doo-doo.
But how about Drew Brees? What Drew Brees look like at 40?
Picks
41?
all over the place. Drew Brees couldn't throw from the end of this table to the door over there at 40.
He couldn't throw past 40 yards. He couldn't.
Peyton Manning had to get, I ain't even gonna say it's accusations, but you saw he had to get something else to help him throw extra down the field. Like, and he got carried all the way to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, we have seen athletes well into their 40s. They look a shell of themselves. Like, they look like nowhere. They just wearing the name on the back of the jersey at that point.
Right.
So to see a dude being able to carry a team. Listen here, I heard people like, oh, LeBron better get it done. If they 40 years old and they say he better get it. That's why I was like, yeah, bro, you got to respect it. If a 40-year-old has this type of pressure still on him, year 22, he got it, man. He one of the greatest of this generation. 89 J Stubbs says, chill. I watch soccer and I could tell you the cups matter. FA Cup is not the UFEA Cup, but it's big. It might take a decade, but will stick, especially if Bron, Steph, or the bigger stars win.
I think that's one of the main things that, a lot of people don't talk about. This is the inaugural season. So, of course, it just got around Bama. So people aren't really, I'm not saying people ain't paying attention to it, because they are paying attention to it. But in terms of it mattering, but in terms of what matters, I'm not sure it's going to matter right now more than it's going to matter in 8-10 years from now when, the tournament actually gets bigger. Because I think that they're going to expand it. And when you have stuff like, I don't know, the tournament champion becomes the NBA champion, because what it does is it legitimizes it, right? Because it's not just something where if you got a team that wins the in-season tournament and doesn't make the playoffs, it just looks bad, right? It looks like it's just something where guys are just showing up. But when you have a team that ends up winning the NBA championship as an in-season tournament champion, and you have, I don't know, one of the final 4 teams that were in the in-season tournament end up making a deep playoff run, it legitimizes the tournament. So we're not gonna really get the full effect of this tournament until years later to see what it is. So I do understand that.
Do you think just to piggyback off of that, do you think this will maybe make it better? Like, say for instance, the winner of the in-season tournament, if it boiled down to them and another team in the West got the same record, since they won the in-season tournament, they get the automatic first seed bid, or would that just be too much of a slippery slope to implement something like that?
As we know, the championship game doesn't even count towards your record. So we know that. Yeah, the championship game doesn't count towards your record. But I think that it's dangerous right now to start implementing stuff like, if you win the in-season tournament, you automatically get a first-round bye, or you end up getting home court advantage in the first round, because we still not sure that your team's going to make the playoffs. So because what it does is it delegitimizes the rest of the regular season. Because if we already know that we get a first-round bye, which I think is crazy too, we already know we're going to get a first-round bye. Not a first-round bye, I'm sorry, home court advantage in the first round. We don't really play as hard. When in reality, well, damn, if we win the in-season tournament, I'm still playing for seeding. So if I'm the 4th seed, well, I'm going to try to be the number 1 seed. I'm going to try to. I'm going to do what I can to be the number 3 seed, so I don't have to see if I'm, I don't know, Orlando. I can avoid playing Cleveland in the first round, stuff like that. So I still have to play the regular season, but I do think, Bama, that there's going to be adjustments to the in-season tournament. It's not just going to be what it is and what it is right now. And I do think that at some point there's going to be playoff implications, more of them. There's already playoff implications now because, like I told you, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers, they're in the same division, right? They're in the same division. So these two playing against each other, and when they play against each other again, these records count. So if these dudes just end up tied at the end of the year and they end up with the 3 and the 4 seed, it could be the difference between Indiana having to get on a plane and go to Milwaukee for games 5 or games 5 and game 7. That could be the difference. So I do think that they're going to make adjustments to it.
89 J Stubbs again with the $5. If Pacers win, you can't tell me it won't matter to them. Maybe in 20 years they will be inviting 2 teams from France or Spain or Australia. Never know.
Well, they already did that. Well, number one, 89. Thank you for the super chat too. But we already had that though. We had that. It was called the McDonald's Open in the late 80s, where they had an in-season tournament. But the in-season tournament, they did it overseas. They did it in Europe, where they would go to, like, the Denver Nuggets would go to Germany, or the Boston Celtics in '86. They went to Germany after they won the NBA championship, and they would play against other EuroLeague teams, other teams in the Spanish league, the Australian champ. So they would do stuff like that. So, I mean, that actually happened. I don't know if they would implement something like that today. Not to say that it wouldn't help, but they already did something like that. Right, I will tell you this, though, Bama. I will tell you this, man. This game tonight between the Pacers and the Lakers, I think it's going to be great. I do. I think it's going to be great. And the reason why I feel like it's going to be great is because, one, you're going to see nonstop action. Indiana Pacers, they play with the fastest pace in the league. They got the highest scoring. They score the most points in the league, right? They play with the fastest pace in the league. They have one of the most dynamic point guards in the league in Tyrese Haliburton. I love everything about this kid's game. I think he could be a better defender, and I think at some point he's gonna have to commit himself to that. But other than that, in terms of being a lead guard, I think he does everything that a lead guard does. His ability to distribute, not only his ability to distribute, his ability to control the game. He doesn't put himself in bad situations where he turns the basketball over. He gets his guys open shots. Not only does he get his guys open shots, he gets himself open shots. He controls the pace of the game. He's the engine that makes that team go. And I think that you're going to see you're going to see nonstop action from the Indiana Pacers. When I think about the Lakers, as much as I don't want to rely on James, I think James is going to be huge tonight because of how fast the game is going to be. Because he can play that way too. Right? Indiana has one of the worst defenses, if not the worst defense in the league. They have one of the worst transition defenses in the league. So as fast as they play, that's going to be a part of the game plan. The Lakers know that they're not going to be able to slow them down. They're not going to be able to slow the game. They're going to be able to slow the game down, but they're not going to be able to slow them down. Right. At some point, we're going to have to match that. And one of the things I feel like they're going to do most is they're going to get Anthony Davis rim running and getting him a lot of easy buckets, right? When we get in the half court, I see what Miles Turner is. I see what their young guys are in the paint, and I feel like they're soft in the paint. And I think that the Lakers can take advantage of that. I also think that on the perimeter, you got guys like Naismith, you got guys like Buddy Hield, right? That are going to compete. But ultimately, I feel like the Lakers on their perimeter with D'Angelo Russell, with Austin Reeves, I think that they could get whatever they want. The reason why guys like Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell are better with James and not as good with each other, because D'Angelo Russell isn't much of a passing guard, and James is. That's why he plays off of him better. That's why D'Angelo Russell plays off of James better. That's why Austin Reeves plays off of him better. And that's going to help in this game because we already seen what Indiana does defensively on the wing. We've already seen what they do in transition. And James is a willing passer. Because James is a willing passer, I think they're going to be able to get whatever they want, whenever they want.
How many people you normally bring up here, Chill, at a time?
It's usually one. It's usually one person at a time. Sometimes two. Sure. Sometimes two. Yep.
Hey, what up? What up? Is my mic working?
Adrian PSP.
Yep, you hot.
Hey, what's good, man?
What up? What up, Sports PSP? What's up, brother?
Chilling, man. How y'all doing?
Running good. Joe running good.
Hey, Chill. Remember when we had that conversation about Tyrese?
What conversation
we were saying, like, I think we had a conversation about the in-season tournament a week ago, and I was telling you, like, bro, if Tyrese was playing, if he was healthy last year, he would be getting a lot of hype, right?
This is the final. Yes, you did. You did tell me.
And I was saying, like, this is the year where he's gonna break out, and we're finally seeing it, man. Because he's pulling off these crazy stats. You know, it's not just the assist; it's the 0 turnovers which gets to me, man. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that he's doing this without turning the ball over, which is so impressive, man.
Well, you got to figure out where that comes from, though. I think it's important to recognize where that comes from. He doesn't. The reason why he takes care of the ball the way he does is because he attracts so much attention, and he knows what he's looking for. So we got a guy in Obi Toppin who actually looked like, I thought, Kenny Skywalker in New York, and I wasn't sure if he was going to even be in the league in another 2 years.
For sure,
Tyrese Haliburton is going to get him an extension. He's going to end up in Indiana. He's going to end up getting him an extension. He's looking really good.
I think if I'm the Pacers, I think they might look to move him off if they can get like a Siakam or something. But I hear you.
That's different, sure. Mm-hmm. If they could do that, yes. If they could
because I don't know if you saw what Woj was saying and what the other guys were saying. Now that people are seeing, this is another great thing about the in-season tournament, by the way. It's giving teams, because I think we had the discussion, the Indiana Pacers only had like one national game last year.
2.
Was it 2? Wow. Okay, sorry. They had only 2 national games last year. I remember only seeing one somewhere, but anyways, it gives them that limelight now. People are going to know about Tyrese Haliburton, and I remember someone on the one analyst saying, like, if you were to think of a player you want to play with, Haliburton's got to be high on that list, man. Mm-hmm. And just him being marketed now, even greater, having an American player, a young star, getting that marketing, which we haven't really been seeing that much, right? A lot of these young guys, like we had a conversation, that they're not getting that same push that they used to get. And I think this in-season tournament has been a unique opportunity for that to happen. And I feel like we're going to see, maybe if the Pacers are going to be aggressive this trade deadline, I think we're going to see a lot of interesting things happen, man.
I think they will. I think they will. And to add to your point, Indianapolis is a basketball city. It's not, contrary to popular belief, it's not hard to attract people there. It's one of those places where, when the Pacers are good, Indianapolis is awesome. Indianapolis is absolutely
from the people I spoke to, I still think it's a football city. Just from who I've spoken to, I've got family who live there. Even though the stuff with the combine and stuff, like, there's loads of people with lots of investment in Indiana, and you look at the Colts and their history, Andrew Luck, all that kind of stuff.
Peyton Manning.
I still think you got to give it to the football side of things, but I for sure hear you. It's always better when the
football's king. Football's king everywhere. Let's be clear about Bama. Bama won't get an argument out of me. I mean, as good as the Houston Rockets are, I mean, Houston, the Texans are a big deal in Houston. As big as a deal as Golden State is in the Bay Area. The 49ers are the deal, and everybody knows that. Football is king, 100%. But in terms of basketball cities, there's a difference between it being king and it being a basketball city. Like, New York is a basketball city. Indianapolis is a basketball city.
Los Angeles.
People love basketball.
Seattle.
Los Angeles is absolutely. They're basketball cities. Which, by the way, I'm glad you brought that up really quickly, Bama. Since we at the in-season tournament, it's in Vegas. How do you dudes feel about? How about we do something like they do with the All-Star game, where let's have it in Seattle next year?
I wouldn't mind that.
Oh, that would be awesome, man.
I feel like, especially since we was out there, them people really embellish that basketball culture, man. I feel like it's a crime shame that they don't have a professional team out there. I'm all for anything professional going up to Seattle for involving basketball, because those people really deserve that, man. Like, you could just feel the basketball culture just when you walk down there. Everybody wearing their supersonic stuff. Like, they really love hoop out there, man. So I'm
Seattle is just a great sports city, man.
Yeah. I think they deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve a team, but I'm all for that.
I have a feeling they're gonna give Vegas a team before Seattle, which I don't know how to feel about that.
No.
It's gonna
Look,
take.
look what they're doing,
It's
Joe.
going to.
Look what they're
It's
doing.
gonna
Look
take.
how they're
It's gonna take
marketing
a
Vegas
while in
now.
order for that to happen, though.
No, I don't think so.
I
doubt
think
it.
they're
But it's
more
good to talk to
interested
you, though,
in
brother.
seeing.
It's good
All
to
right,
talk to you, my
For
man.
sure.
Not you, SB. You hold on, SB.
Yeah.
That's all good.
All right,
But
Adrian.
it's good to talk to
For
you, Adrian.
sure,
I
man.
appreciate you, brother.
Chill.
Yep.
Listen, I wanted to ask you the question regarding Zion Williamson.
Mhm.
When I mean disappointed, I'm not talking about in terms of him being available. It's great that he's available because it's great when he's on the court. It just makes the league better. What I mean by disappointed is his conditioning. To
Yes.
me, it still doesn't seem like he's in shape. And I think you've heard the report. He's ignoring the Pelicans as far as his diet and his fitness. I don't know what's going on. And Charles Barkley, he's constantly said, like, he brought up Moses Malone. He constantly said that I was fat and lazy. I lost 50 pounds. I ultimately became the great player. And Bama, and trust me, Bama knows exactly what he's talking about. New Orleans, that good food there, that jambalaya, that crawfish, etouffee, po' boys, and stuff like that. I just think Zion.
You just put Bama in New Orleans, by the way. And Po' Boys. He's in there right now. He in Po' Boys right now.
Right now, I just ate a Po' Boy right there.
But go ahead.
No, it's all good. But I think with Zion, he needs more accountability. I don't know what's going on with the Pelicans. They just need more structure. And I think, and Mars made the argument. I don't know, Mars did, how it's better with Brandon Ingram as the number one. I don't know what's going on with Zion Williamson, man, but it just seems like it's disappointing because when you look at his career right now, he's still good. He's still a good enough player, but I think he can be better, even special, if he take his nutrition and his fitness seriously. So that's why I say I'm disappointed.
I understand. I do. I get that. And yeah, keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, also last week regarding the Dwight Howard thing with LA or Houston, because I mentioned it in the super chat last week. I think the bigger with LA or Houston, which is the bigger disappointment for Dwight.
You did say that. Yes, I do remember that. Okay.
I think Houston is the bigger disappointment because LA, it seemed like to me he wanted to get out of Orlando and he liked LA because of LA in terms of the market, in terms of what LA had to represent, not in terms of the Lakers. I think Houston was the bigger disappointment because he turned down $30 million in free agency. He could have signed that 5-year, $118 million contract, but instead he went for 4 years, $88 million. But the bigger disappointment in Houston for Dwight, not just because of James Harden, you had Kevin McHale and Akeem the Dream Olajuwon, two dudes, great guys, great players that know how to play within the post. And that was an issue that Dwight Howard had throughout his career, the post moves, the fundamentals and things of that nature. And I didn't see enough of Dwight Howard as a post player. Right. That's why I say bigger disappointment. LA, because of, to your point, the injuries and stuff.
And I think that Dwight, he wanted to be more of a presence offensively. He actually lobbied for that. But, we had James Harden being the ball dominant guy that he was, and he didn't go to him nearly as much as he could have. But, Dwight was limited offensively. He did have he was limited as a post player, but he did have some post moves. And he did complain about the fact that he didn't get the ball as much. Conditioning wasn't an issue with Dwight Howard, but he did have that back injury that he wasn't all the way. He wasn't all the way. He wasn't all the way.
And the torn labrum.
Yes, he wasn't all the way healed from that. So I think that affected his game more than people give him credit for. However, when he got to Los Angeles, he had just come off of that back injury. So I can't say that was more of a disappointment, considering Los Angeles was basically on their last leg at that point. Right. Bryant had torn up his Achilles, and they had signed Steve Nash, who was 100 years old, right?
Gasol.
Right, and Gasol was still good, but I felt like this team was, they were an older team that didn't really rebuild as much as they were trying to retool, and they were retooling with older guys. I mean, Dwight Howard was only I believe he was in year 8 or 9
year
at
9.
that point.
Year 9.
Yeah, year 9. He still was good, but he had a back problem, and he wasn't the same. Though he did lead the league in rebounding, he wasn't the same. When he got to Houston, he was actually healthier.
Yes.
But the problem was that him playing with James Harden, you didn't really get to see him be the post presence that he wanted to be, which is kind of ironic because James Harden does pass the ball. Those two guys, it just didn't work with those two guys.
It just seemed like to me it just didn't work between the two. But also to LA, Mike D'Antoni as the head coach. that frenetic pace. Mike D'Antoni's not known for throwing the ball within the post. And also Dwight Howard, according to Stephen A. Smith, he said he wanted Phil Jackson to be the head coach. And they promised Phil, you got until Monday morning to make up your mind. And then they hired D'Antoni on a Sunday night, in which Jeannie Buss admitted that she felt like she was stabbed in the back.
Phil said that he was waiting for Monday to be introduced. He was taking the job. He said that.
Right.
Yeah, he said he was taking the job.
And then they decided to hire D'Antoni, which I'm not going to be mad at D'Antoni because, again, the offer is there. You might as well capitalize it. But I think with Dwight Howard, even though he's playful, goofy, I don't think he's gotten his due. I think he should be a top 75 player of all time because people forgot how great he was in Orlando. I mean, multiple rebounds. He took the team to the finals in 2009. He prevented history as far as seeing a Kobe LeBron finals, because remember the Nike commercials with Kobe and LeBron, the puppet ones. Yes. That's what he prevented from happening. And then the year after that, he went to the conference finals, lost to the Celtics. I just don't think Dwight Howard has gotten a lot of credit. Is it because of the personality, on or off, or anything else?
He came along during a time where the big man was getting phased out, and because the big man was getting phased out, they didn't really pay that much attention to the big man. And I think that kind of lessened how good he actually was, because Dwight Howard was fantastic. I actually thought that in the 2011 season, he should have won the league MVP. He had a legit argument to win the league MVP, being the 4th seed in Orlando. As good as he was defensively, I think he was a 21-14 guy that year.
He was.
Had the best defense in the league.
Player of the year.
Yeah, he was defensive player in the league. They had the best defense that year. I thought he had a legit argument to be the defensive player of the year. No, I'm sorry, not the defensive player, the league MVP. So absolutely, man. So, but sports, it's good to talk to you, brother. I appreciate you coming through, my man. Absolutely.
Anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, man. What up? What up?
Yo.
What up?
Can you hear me, Chill?
Yes. What's up?
Hello. Can you?
Yes.
Yo, Chill. I wanted to ask you, what did you think about that ejection from yesterday?
I didn't see the whole thing, to be honest with you. I don't even know. First of all, what was the first tech for? Let's start with that. What was the first tech for? I think he froze up. I think we lost him. See if we can.
Hello?
Get him back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Froze up.
Yeah, you froze up.
Yeah, sorry. Y'all froze up for me too. What were you saying, Chill?
I don't. What was the first? I was in between watching that game. What was the first technical he got? I don't remember the first technical that Jaylen Brown got.
He got a tech. The first tech.
Oh,
let's drop him in. Let's drop him in. Yeah, let's drop him and bring him back. Yeah, let's drop him in and see if we can get him back. Yeah, drop him. Anyway, what up, Brax?
Yo, I kind of been out the loop, so I don't even know what to talk about.
Let's talk about your Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's talk about your Oklahoma City Thunder right now. Like a lot of people aren't talking about.
Can y'all hear me?
They are. We'll get with you in a minute. Hold on. Let's talk about your Oklahoma City Thunder. That right now, I think they 3rd in the West, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're third or 4th in the West. Yeah, I think they 3rd.
You know how the West go.
Dallas is 4th. I think Oklahoma City's 3rd in the West. I'm digging what I'm seeing from Jalen Williams or J-Dub.
Yes, bro.
I'm digging what I'm seeing from him. What I want to see from your boys. What I want to see from your boys is I want to see more gang rebound. That's what I want to see from y'all most.
Who are you telling, bro?
If I don't want to put that onus solely on Chet, because I see a lot of times where a shot goes up and a lot of these dudes expect Chet to just rebound.
Yeah,
J-Dub will rebound.
We were, because last year I feel like it was, since we didn't have a center, or we just didn't have somebody that was like pretty good at rebounding, because the other Jalen Williams, I consider him a power forward. So now that we have an actual center, it's like, oh great, now we have somebody that can rebound. And it's like, I mean, he can rebound, but he shouldn't be the only one doing it. So I think that's where our issue lies. On top of the fact that Chet's a big man, but he's not a big man. So that, I feel like that's his biggest issue, or that's the team's biggest issue. We don't team rebound well enough. So I do like to see that. We just need a big man in general. We need a bigger body in general, in my opinion.
I'm more of a dirty work guy, because if you look at Chet Chet will rebound. Chet will rim protect. I
For
think
sure.
Chet enhances your defense. 100%. He does do
Mhm.
that. But with having a guy like Chet, you do need to have a dirty work guy. So as good as Olajuwon was, a lot of people, Brax, don't know this, but Olajuwon was a finesse big man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Olajuwon was a finesse big man. But
brother, you ain't gotta tell me about Olajuwon. I got a funk.
Olajuwon was a finesse big man, and people hear finesse and they think soft. He wasn't soft.
That's not.
But he also
that's not what that means.
No, that's not what that means. But he also had a dirty work guy in Otis Thorpe next to him. So I feel like can Jalen, the other Jalen Williams, can he be that dirty work guy for you guys? Can he be that other guy that does Charles stuff? Okay, so if it's not him, then we got to get another dude. Then that's not.
Yeah, I think we need to pick somebody up. I still think we should keep Jalen Williams because he's a valuable asset to the team off the bench.
Right.
But he's like dirty work in the sense like he's not afraid to put his body on the line. Like he'll get a charge, he'll help board or something like that. But as far as like everything dive on the ground, I'm not too sure about that. But he might. But I just think we just need a body in general that is willing to like. Basically, that's his sole reason on the court, kind of thing. Like he's going to do everything for sure. That's the main reason he's out there.
I find you guys in dogfights with the Golden State Warriors unnecessarily. Like I feel like y'all better than them. I do. Even though you're a younger team, I feel like y'all better than the Warriors. And these games shouldn't be as close as they are.
And I don't know why.
Yeah,
like,
I don't feel like.
Because, like, we forced them. They had 28 turnovers last night, bro. If you see a team with 28 turnovers, they're getting blown out. But we went into overtime with them. I don't get it. I truly don't get what it is. For the second time in a row.
These games should not be as close as they are. And I think you struggle with Steph Curry. And I think you struggle with Steph Curry off the basketball more than anything. I mean, who doesn't struggle with Steph Curry off the basketball?
Yeah.
I get that part. But I feel like guys like Klay Thompson, I feel like guys like Draymond, who went 5 for 7 yesterday and actually knocking down open shots, that's not something that's common. But him being the playmaker that he was yesterday, getting other dudes involved, I think that's kind of what threw you dudes off the track, and you didn't capitalize off those turnovers. When the team's got almost 30 turnovers,
that's really what it is. Yeah,
we should smoke them. We should smoke them.
I do think we don't capitalize off, specifically for the Warriors. We don't capitalize off the turnovers. Like a lot of times, they'll turn the ball over because the Warriors are a turnover-heavy team in the first place. But we like might miss or like we won't turn it back over. We just don't capitalize heavily. On top of the fact, Klay and Dre just like to bring their A game against us. I don't know what it is. Whenever they see,
just so we clear, Bama. Okay, Klay yesterday. I think he shot over 40% on the long ball. Coming into the game yesterday, 4 of the last 5 games, Klay shooting 28% on the long ball. He played against Oklahoma City.
Whenever he see that orange and blue, it's 2016 all over again, bro.
I don't know what it is. He's always good for one good one. He is always good for one good one. So just so you know, Brax, because a lot of people, I mean, this show that we on, we talk a lot about a lot of teams. Unfortunately, we can't watch all the teams.
Yeah.
Like we talk about Detroit. I don't want to talk about the Detroit Pistons. I do not want to talk about the Detroit Pistons. I wish I could say
don't piss off James B, bro.
I don't want to talk about the Detroit Pistons. I mean, we talked about it. Here's the problem though. The problem is that this team isn't, and we got a guy in San Antonio, the future of the league. He went for 20 and 20 last night.
Exactly.
Right, but the San Antonio Spurs ain't that good neither. Like, I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to talk about them neither. I don't want to talk about San Antonio, but I do want to talk about Wemby. I do want to talk about him.
Bama. Yes, I love Payne. I love Duran. I love Ivy. I don't love them all on the same team. Like I don't love them all on the same team.
I don't want to talk about the Detroit Pistons, and I won't. No, until they get it together and give me something. As much as I dig Jalen Duran, I don't dig him as much as I dig Wemby. No, I don't. I do not.
Unfortunately.
As much as I dig Cade Cunningham, I don't dig him as much as I dig SGA. No, I don't. So I'm not. And add that to the fact that and add that to the fact that they garbage. That's the worst part about it.
That don't make it no better. When you play in 20-something games and you only got 3 wins, why would I want to talk about you?
Not 3, 2.
My fault. I'm feeling generous today.
Matter of fact, I'm done talking about the Pistons. I apologize. Good to talk to you, though, brother. I appreciate you.
Good talking to you. My fault, James B, for the.
Oh, shit. Out of here. What up?
Yo, Chill, can you hear me?
Yep, you hot. What up?
All right. So what had happened yesterday is that he was yapping with the ref, right? So he's yapping with him. He gets teed up. So So Jaylen Brown's going to the bench. He's walking over the bench. He's still talking. He's not talking to the ref, though. He's talking to himself. And the ref sees that, and the ref throws him out of the game. So now Jaylen Brown's pissed, and he's trying to throw hands with the ref.
He said he didn't get his money's worth, though. He did say that. He said he would have rather. He said he would have rather gotten his money's worth, but he didn't.
Yeah,
so,
he was.
I mean,
just cuss. He said it was BS.
I'm not even on him getting. I'm not even on him getting ejected. I'm on the fact that they handled the Knicks last night defensively. They handled the Knicks last night. Jason Tatum going into that game.
Yeah,
I think that he's averaging 35 and 10 going into that game. I think he went 25 and 9 last night. I think that they do a really good job against the Knicks. They neutralized Jalen Brunson, that offense, because you guys already know how I feel about Jalen Brunson, his ability not his ability to pass, him actually passing. He doesn't do that. So I thought that they did a really good job against them. KP in the paint, he dominated last night early and often. So I really enjoyed watching that. So
you just talked about. Oh, sorry. You just talked about Jason Tatum. What's going on with him, Chill? He hasn't been really shooting all that well.
Well, here's the thing. It's interesting that I think he's shooting almost 50% for his career, 50% this season, which is a career high. I think he's shooting a little under 37% on the long ball, and his free throws is what my issue is, because he's normally an 80% free throw shooter. I don't know what the story is with him at the free throw line. He looks like he's rushed, and I don't know what the problem is there. But I'm still good on Jason Tatum. He's just fine. He's still rolling. The Boston Celtics are rolling. I think they win in the NBA championship. It's
probably because of the fact that Porzingis is back. I mean, had he been back against Indiana, I'm liking our chances against winning against them. I think we win it against them if he's back, right? I think the fact that he was gone for so long is what derailed us against Indiana, right? We got kicked out of the in-season tournament, and plus Tyrese Haliburton, he was just unstoppable. He was like, Drew couldn't slow him down. Dwight couldn't slow him down. The unit themselves couldn't slow him down. Like Tyrese Haliburton, he went off against that game in Indiana. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that, on the loss that Boston had against Indiana.
Well, they sped the game up. That was the most important part. They actually sped the game up. And when you got into the meat and potatoes of the game and you need guys to make plays, guys didn't make plays. I appreciate Drew Holiday for the defender that he is. He just had a really tough time down the stretch with Tyrese Haliburton. And I think if Porzingis was there, I think you guys win that game more than anything. I think that he gives you the dynamic that you didn't have. He gives you that rim protector. See, when Indiana's playing as fast as they were playing, not only playing as fast as they were playing, getting to the rim like they get to, they're not doing that with KP in the paint. And because he wasn't there, they were basically able to get whatever they wanted. And guys like Jason Tatum, around that time, when you get late in the game, he didn't really give you what he normally gives. And I think that was the difference in the game. But I still think that the Boston Celtics are a worse matchup for Indiana than they are for the Celtics.
Well, yeah, I agree there. I think really like the worst matchup for us is Orlando, because they've been owning us lately. I still can't understand why Orlando keeps beating us like over and over and over again.
The front line, that's why. That front line that they have with Wagner and Banchero, and their rotation guys play better. That's the problem. Your rotation guys don't play as good as their rotation guys. That's the difference in a lot of times when y'all play them. That's always been the difference. So if that can get cleaned up, even though I hate this matchup, I think if that can get cleaned up, I think you guys have a really legit shot. I think you guys have a really legit shot in just handling everybody. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Orlando. I don't like that matchup though. I still think that the Celtics could beat them. I just think that it would be a dogfight series, as opposed to if you played against Indiana. I don't think that series would be nearly as difficult.
I do. Well, I think Orlando probably we'll probably fix that lineup, that rotation. We'll probably get a few bench pieces. Get a better defensive.
I feel like the Celtics are still in the mix for another dirty work guy. Even though I think I feel like everything that you have right now is enough to win it, but I do think that you insert of maybe another dirty work guy, because as much as
I
like
told you,
Kornet,
chill. We got to go get Andre Drummond.
the reason why I don't like Andre Drummond, because he can't make free throws. He can't make free throws, and that's going to be a problem.
What about if Boston calls up Toronto? They call up Toronto and they ask for Precious Achiuwa. He can hit free throws.
There's no way that y'all getting Precious Achiuwa. Nope, they're not handing him over. That's not happening. You ain't got to worry about that.
They're
good
not?
to talk to you, though, brother. I appreciate you. No, they ain't giving him up.
All right,
Not
see you, chill. You have a good one.
No, not to you guys. All right, brother. Good to talk to you. No doubt. So, Breezy, what up?
Shit, man, chilling, trying not to be the villain.
It's hard out here, man. It's hard not to be the villain, B. It is. It's hard.
Yeah, I think it's convenient that Big Ox took off the day before that the Brooklyn Nets played the Sacramento Kings. I feel like big pressure. You know what else, chill? The fact that we didn't make it and we were 3 out of 4 and we only didn't make it because of the point differential. Like who that matters? It was 6 out of 7 games. I think that the Brooklyn Nets should be where the Indiana Pacers are. And I'm tired of the Indiana Pacers because they got the best of us in the ABA. They beat us in the finals 4-2. I'm not feeling that. I think they trying to steal a Brooklyn Nets shine. And I just want to say, before the media narrative gets on the Haliburton train and do all of this and that, I just want to say, don't forget about the Brooklyn Nets. We 6 out of our last 7 games. We about to go face the Sacramento Kings. And to your point, to make conversation to the show, to what you were saying, I think the way they should mix it up, because when I was talking to the show prior, he said that, this is what they did with the divisions and the groups. Remember, we were talking about the divisions and the groups? Yeah. I wanted to ask you this, Chill, in your opinion. Do you think they could spice it up if they was to mix the East and West divisions? And would that be a change in the in-season tournament? Could you imagine the Pelicans versus the Cleveland Cavaliers to get it? Because I'm gonna land the plane saying this. It's the same format to get to the playoffs as it is in the in-season tournament. And what if they spiced it up and made it to where the best in the Atlantic division play the best in the Pacific division? Or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? Mix it up like that.
Because the way the format is now, it's just East and West. But what you want to do is you want to take the Lakers. You want to take the Lakers and you want to put the Lakers in the same division with Orlando, or maybe put them in the same division with Brooklyn. You want to take the Milwaukee Bucks, put them in the same division with maybe Sacramento, something like that. That may be something to look into, because it's already as competitive as it is now. But what that would also do, it could be a finals preview, right? It could be a preview to the finals, just like the in-season tournament could be a preview to the finals. I don't think Indiana's going to be in the NBA finals, but to mix up the divisions, you could also get a preview to what the finals could possibly be. So if you got Philly and Golden State in the same division,
nice.
And you got Philly and Golden State in the same division, and these two teams is playing in order to get a spot in the play-in tournament semifinals.
I'm all ears.
I think that would cause a lot of buzz, no doubt about that. I'm not sure that the NBA is feeling the travel isn't the issue. I'm off the travel part. I'm off the travel part. But I think that they don't want to oversell what the potential is. I don't think they want to oversell that. Which, even though I think it's great, I understand it from a business aspect.
Yeah, that's it. I just kind of threw in hear you cook on that. I like the fact that Matt Duran, he was confident. They asked him in a quote last season, like, what you think about LeBron James? He said, ain't nobody better than me. So I know they want to compete, and I'm not sure the record of what the Lakers and Indiana was last season, but it was competitive. I remember them having competitive games. So
they beat them on a buzzer beater last year. The Indiana Pacers came to Los Angeles and beat them on a buzzer beater last year.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah,
I wish
Lakers should handle them though. They should handle them.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. I just wanted to say that. I wanted to ask you about that, and I'm gonna keep bringing this up every time I see you, Chill, because I think that'll be dope for the in-season tournament. But I'm gonna watch tonight's game, man.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you, Breezy, my man.
All right.
Absolutely, Breezy. That was a fire idea. I'm not gonna lie, I like that, brother.
Absolutely, yo, no doubt. I just think when we talk about mixing it up, which is going to happen, Bama. I want to make sure we clear on that. That's going to happen. They're going to make adjustments to, right? They're going to make adjustments to the in-season tournament. They're going to add more teams. They're going to have a different format. So it's going to be different, and they definitely going to have some other stuff, definitely. And that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's actually not, especially because of finals preview potentially. Couple super chats up in here. Teddy Hart with the $5. Did I miss the OKC recap? Yes, you did. Chet is that dude for real. This is twice now.
Yeah.
Teddy Hart again with another $5. I think my Thunder should make an offer for one of the Detroit Manny big men. They have a log jam anyway.
Well, which big man you thinking about, Teddy Hart? So the dirty work, like I just talked about with Chet needing a dirty work guy. So Isaiah Stewart. I mean, what do you think it would cost to get Isaiah Stewart into Oklahoma City? Because him being that dirty work guy in Oklahoma City, bringing you that toughness, I think that would really help Oklahoma City. Yeah, I think he could really help you. The question is what would he cost you? Would he cost you a first-round pick? I don't think I'm giving up a first-round pick for Isaiah Stewart, but I would give up some of my – I would give up a second-round pick and maybe one of my rotation guys for him, or maybe even two of my rotation guys for him. Because, again, I think that he brings that toughness and that dirty work that you don't have. And I do think that you guys have really good players, but the dirty work guys, like an Isaiah Stewart, I really think that he could help you. Yo, this dude right here, Brandon Katz, get him up out of here, Bama. He beat it. Get him up out of here. I don't got time for dudes like that. No, I don't. Get out of here. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking with that crew. What else we got?
That was all the super chats right there.
All right.
Games tonight. I'm looking for, me, Lakers fan, looking forward to that Pacers.
Yep.
Pacers Lakers game. Not Pacers Lakers, but Pelicans Lakers game. Pacers Bucks. I mean, we'll see, man. Like I said, I'm just enjoying the greatness train of LeBron right now at 40 years old, 50 years old. I just say 50, man. I'm a troll. Seeing this dude at 50 years old playing like this, I'm just enjoying it, man. You're really getting whooped on by your uncle out there. And
for real. Not sort of kind of. For real.
Nah, because you brought up a good point, man. Like these young boys, man, they really running and jumping out the gym. And for him to still be able to coming in since 2003 and you still able to hang with these young cats, that's impressive, man. I don't care. I don't know if these boys in the chat ever played pickup basketball, but them young boys that be on the court, man, they really running nowadays, man. And for LeBron to be able to at that level, come on, man. Yeah. Tyrese
Haliburton is talking about James being his favorite player growing up, like 10 years ago, right? And this is what we're talking about, bro. I mean, Tyrese Haliburton is 23 years old. So 10 years ago, he was in the 8th grade talking about, this dude was my favorite player. And he's still in the league, right? This dude is still in the league, still doing it. So, yeah, yo. I mean, this guy's incredible. So, yeah, man, it was good to see you guys today, right? It was great to see you guys today. I got my man Bama in the house. Bama and I do work. We will see you guys soon. Put on a suit, drink some water, don't drink and drive. Yo, man, call your mother, yo. Call your mother. Absolutely. Call your mother. And
yes, sir.
We will be back on Wednesday. We will absolutely be back on Wednesday. So until then, take it light. Take it.
Peace.